Good morning. My name is Mackenzie Stanley, and I am from Fairview Elementary. Today we are going to be playing Miss Nelson is Missing by Martha Hatch.
The students' room 207 were a disaster. The kids were misbehaving again. You would think it was recess in there. Spitballs were stuck to the ceiling, and paper airplanes were whizzing by.
Poor Miss Nelson. She had the worst behaved class in the entire school.
Now settle down, class.
No one seemed to hear her.
Watch out for the airplane.
Can you do this?
I'll bring you to the fence at recess.
Ew, that spitball just fell on my forehead. How about a story hour?
That day and even worse. Students sat and talked and completely ignored their teacher.
They were like that all day. They refused to do their lessons. Miss Nelson didn't know what to do.
I will have to think of something. This cannot keep happening every day.
Miss Nelson didn't show up the next day at school. The students went crazy.
Woohoo! Now we can really act up.
Lessons be terrible for our substitute today.
Not so fast.
Everyone stopped what they were doing immediately. A woman in an ugly black dress came to the front of the room.
I am your new teacher. My name is Miss Viola Swamp. What happened to Miss Nelson? Never mind her. Now open up your arithmetic books.
Everyone did as they were told all day. She put them to work right away. She loaded them down with homework.
There will be no story hour. Keep your mouth shut. Sit perfectly still. And don't misbehave. If you do, you'll be sorry.
The kids were terrified of Miss Viola Swamp. They knew she meant business. The word around the playground was that she was a witch. The students in room 207 looked for any signs of Miss Nelson's return, but it all seemed hopeless.
One day, they decided to do something about it.
I'll go check her house. She wasn't home. The students saw Miss Viola Swamp coming around the corner, and they ran away before she could see them.
Let's file a missing person report at the police station, and maybe they'll know who she is.
So your teacher's missing? Yes, we need her back right away. When was the last day you saw her?
So the other day we were sort of being bad.
But we did it at the time. Nothing was different.
I see.
And then the next day she was gone.
I have to give this case some thought, but for right now I'm going to have to say Miss Nelson is missing.
Detective McSmall wasn't going to be as helpful as the students thought he would be.
They began thinking of crazy stories about what may have happened to Miss Nelson.
Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark.
Maybe she went to Mars.
Maybe she was carried away by a swarm of angry butterflies.
The students in room 207 were a disgrace. They knew Miss Nelson would never come back. They figured that Miss Nelson got tired of their misbehavior and left them for good. And they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever.
That's how the students in room 207 felt the next day. They sat at their seats and began their long list of work with very heavy hearts. They heard footsteps coming from down the hall and got ready for Miss Swamp.
Here comes the witch.
Hurry, get to work. We don't want extra homework.
Hello, children. Miss Nelson?
You're back!
Did you miss me?
Yes!
Where did you go?
That's my little secret. How about a story hour?
Oh, yes. It was amazing. The students listened to Miss Nelson and the story. They weren't rude or silly or disrespectful. They were good. Not only were they good during story hour, they were the best behaved class all day long.
That night, Miss Swamp hung her coat up next to an ugly black dress in her closet. She smiled as she thought of her little secret.
I'll never tell.
Meanwhile, Detective Smog was starting another case.
Now to find Miss Viola Swamp.